Hello everybody, this is Sonya. I started this a while ago, but I had a sneezing fit, so I had to switch it off. I'm sorry about that, because this is probably going to be of no use to use whatsoever. I'm in Australia, and I am starting my new series today, another one on stump work, okay? So each Tuesday, I should be putting up a video of doing stump work, a piece of stump work, which is a three-dimensional embroidery. Okay, so for that we're going to need wire. Okay, so we've got bits of wire. It's all different sorts here you can get. For beading, it's called, or some sort of flower work. This one here you can buy at the florist, and that's a coated one. You can buy different colours. I have a white one here. I've got silver, and I've got copper colour, and you can just go and get whatever you can find, preferably in a size 26, but if you can't see what number it is, just get yourself something that's going to sit where you put it, okay? So that's what we'll need here today, and we'll need, if you can go and find yourself, if you can't draw, go and find yourself a second-hand embroidery book of some sort. A lot of them have got patterns in them, okay? If you can't draw, or children's colouring in book, because you want a pattern, and I've just taken this bit. I want a pattern for a flower, right? So what I did was I found this one in the book. This is not what I'm doing. Oh well, this is. I'm not going to copy this. This is not. I'm going to do my own thing. You know, we're going to do what we just wanted the actual petals shape. So what you do is you just put, and you need them separate like this, okay? So you want to put, you can trace over that, and that way you can do that, unless you can draw yourself 4 petals, and they're not exactly the same, you know, so that's good, but, you know, whatever you can come up with is good. So if you do that, find yourself a pattern of some sort. There should be some in embroidery books. There's lots of, in the second-hand shops, there's lots of pieces. You can buy them in patchwork books. There'll probably be in applique books or things like that. You find a pattern or picture of some sort that you can copy. Even if you get an ordinary coloured picture, you can copy that. But anyway, so we've got this, and we need a piece of fabric, and we're going to do this in pink, but my pink wire that I've got is too thin. I like the size 26, like I said, so I think that's what this. Oh, hang on, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this one. I think this says it's 26 gauge. Right, the higher the gauge, the thinner the wire. Right, okay. And I want to use this one, I think, because it will be just about right, because it'll stay where you put it, like so. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So what we do now is, and we're going to need some thread. I want to do mine on background fabric the same colour as the thing I'm making. You can use any colour you like. The only thing is you're going to find out when we start it, you have to, well, you will have to cover it all in, but it looks better and it works a lot better, I think, if we've got just the same colour. You can do it on felt if you want to, but I find that that's a bit thick. So for what we're going to do today, you can't do the felt with this one on felt, because it just won't work for you. So what you need to do is just place your wire on here in the shape of a petal. Well, we're not actually going to, we're not going to get it exactly, are we? But you know what? If you do it like that yourself, it's okay. You've got it, haven't you? You've got a petal, but you want them to be pretty close to the same size. So I've got one there. I have to cut that. Now I'm going to have to find something that I'm not going to cry if I break my good scissors. Where's me? I think these are really old, these pair. No, there's one of them here that's really big, and they're both the same size. Well, I'll have the ones that's got all the glue on them, I suppose. So I'll cut myself 4 pieces of wire. Okay, and that will be, I'm sorry about my hands because I've been fiddling around with wire, and that probably got a bit of tarnished on me. Ooh. Now even if we get part way done with this today, we'll be still continuing on next Tuesday, because that's what I want to do. I've got to find myself different things. So I'm waiting to do another stitch one, so while we're waiting for another stitch, we can learn to do this as well. There'll be a lot of stitches that you will learn that you can use in this too, so this is what we're going to do today, alright? So we've got 4, and we need to make them look by halve it, put it in half. Wait a minute, I better show you how big are these first. How big are they? That one there's not quite 5 inches, so they're not quite 5 inches long. If you fold it in half like this, it'll make your ends the same size, okay? Right. Now, be nice and neat. And maybe that's a good shape, I guess. You just want to, it doesn't look anything like those shapes, does it? But I don't want to make them too big either. Let's push it in a bit further. How about that? It's not too bad. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Alright, we'll put it down on here. Now, so I'm not going to get you all in a bit of a kerfuffle. We're going to maybe do one at a time, okay? Because you can, I'm going to stitch this all in a minute, you can put them all down around here and do them. And that's what you do, but because I'm going to show you how to do this today, I'm going to have to get a drink of water. I did start this earlier. So I've been talking a while, but I just... Now, so we want to put that on there like so. Right, now we're going to get a needle and thread, a good solid one, and our thread's going to be a nice pink stranded thread of... we do not want a pearl one today. Probably that's all I'll find then, because I don't necessarily want a pearl one today. I want a stranded thread today in the colour that I want to do. Isn't that incredible? There's nearly all... Here's one here. The only thing about this too is, I hope you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. If I get it close enough to me, you will. I could change the colour, but if I do that, I feel... this is nice. That's a nice colour, isn't it? It nearly goes exactly. And it doesn't matter whether you can do that or not. That's not a thing. It's not a priority. It doesn't matter for that. Right, now, we've already learnt to do a blanket stitch, right, on our second thing. So today we can do that with this, because that's what we're going to do to start with. So all your stitches will be used as something. Now, I probably made a mistake by putting that too close to the edge, okay? Because I need to be able to reach it with both hands, and so therefore the hoop that you put this in needs to be a size that you can work with, okay? Because if you haven't got it in a hoop, it's very hard to do. This one that I've got is one of those ones they put pictures in. You can buy these. Actually, these you can get fairly cheap. I have got a heap of them here somewhere, but I like to use these because they hang on to it really tight. You work, so does this, but there's no thing here to keep getting your cotton cord around, because that's what happens to me. But anyway, so this is going to be my first petal, right? So what I do is I start down here. Now, because this is, if you want to come down here, we'll start down here, okay? We're over here. We're going to go there, okay? This is different to ow. The reason we're going over there is because so we need to have our thread to be able to be used. Now you want to get it together. You want to get these two here pieces of wire together. So put down, go over the top of it, and then we'll go over both of them together. Alright. If you want to, you can go around with it in a different colour, but that's not necessarily for this, because this one is going to be a little bit different cut out from other ways. There's different ways to do these, alright? So now I'm going to go around here like at intervals, and I'm going to stitch down the wire. Alright, so just put down your wire by going around here and putting in, hopefully, well, I've got a bit more of this pink thread thing, so I'll be able to show you what we're going to do with this after we've made it, after we've gone and finished what we're going to do, okay? That might take a little while, but you know what, it's worth it in the long run. And after you can just sit down and do. Now see that I'm going to use that as my next template for the next piece that I'm going to do. Little bird, you're out there competing against me, now cut that out. Yes you are, yes little bird. Anyway, so I don't need that there anymore because I've got that sewed down. And the reason I started here was because I'll need that tail, because this is how we're going, because we have to attach it later. And so now we're going to go around it with blanket stitch to make the edge of it to start with, okay? He's having a good tweet, isn't he, that little fella? I'm sorry, I hope he's not annoying, because he's a nice, probably a nice little bloke. He's just like he's up there by himself. Maybe his mum went and left him somewhere in a nest or something, I don't know. And we're just going around, you're going through the fabric, underneath the wire, and out the other side, okay? Through the fabric, under the wire, and out the other side. Now, if you did these in a different colour thread, you'd be able to see it and you could pick it out later. But if you don't, if you put it in this colour, you'll be right. You won't have to pick it out later. You can just use the same thing. Okay? So under there, I'm coming out a little bit away from the wire, because it's not, if you rock your needle, push your needle underneath there, it will work really well. And just try and get it the same size all the way you go. And the threads, it's starting to wrinkle around and curl up. So what you do is you just hold your work up in the air and let your thread drop, your needle drop down. You can't see what I'm doing because I can't fit it under the camera. But you just hold it up and your thread will drop down and it'll untwist a bit for you so it's not all twisted up. So you want to do these stitches as close together as you can. You can very vaguely see the gold. But if you were doing this, say, if you had a different colour, well, you wouldn't put a green underneath it, but the gold underneath it just maybe works just nicely, doesn't it? Because I think it looks good. You can put silver, whatever you can find. You can put the green, but it's going to take an awful lot of covering, that's all. You want it covered up completely, because unless, of course, that might be a part of your thing that you want to keep it like that. I can still see the gold, but that doesn't matter. That could be sort of in the edge of the thing. It's probably people used to do this years and many in the 15 and 1600s because they wanted to make decorations. They decorate their little chests of money and their pillows and their curtains and stuff like that. So they used all this sort of thing and made it so it's three-dimensional and it's set out. And you use beads, you use filling. There's all sorts of things that you can use to do this. I hope I'm sticking this close enough together. I really do. I might be just trying to get a little bit forward because there's a bit to do yet. So this will keep you busy. If you start this with me today, it'll probably take you, well, we'll see how you go then before next week, if you can get the 4 of them done. I hope I can. I have to, don't I? Won't be good if I don't. Yeah, because I don't know if I can show you. I only want to do one a week. I don't want to push myself to be trying to be doing more, and I can't, so. One element of, and this will be, this flower will be the first one, and it has 4 petals, and that's, that'll be it for this one. And next week we'll do something different. But we need them done by next week, so we can show how to put them onto your piece of work, right? What to do with them after you've made them. And I probably am like doing this one at a time because you've got to have plenty of room. Okay, this is hooked around. Now that happens, so what you do, you get a piece of sticky tape and you put that on there, or masking tape. I think I'd rather use the masking tape. What have I done with that? I've got just too much sticky tape here. I thought it was sitting up in there. Sometimes hubby comes in and borrows it. Oh, here it is. I can't blame him now, it's here. Can't blame him. It's here. But you can use a sticky tape if you want to. I just want to put a piece of masking tape on there. That's so your thread won't keep getting caught, okay? Your thread in, yeah, so you're not getting strung up in it. Okay, now. Yeah, so we've had some warm days here now. It's only 35, but that's not bad. I mean, 35 is okay. You can stand that. Once it starts getting a bit up in the 40s, it gets a bit scary. Because for the fact is that, as well as it's hot through the day, if it doesn't cool down, excuse me, for night time. Every time I have a mouthful of water, I get these issues. Maybe I'm not putting them close enough together. I'll have to try a little bit harder with the next one, won't I? But what I need to do is keep going, because it'll be fine. It will look really nice, I reckon. I'm not one bit disappointed in it, because I think it'll go really well. Now, I don't know how long my thread was, but just try not to have it too long, but try to make it so it will last. If it doesn't make it all the way around there, we'll surely come across a time when I can show you what to do exactly with it, okay? And whatever you do, don't think that this is too hard, because it is not. It is not hard. There's a lot of very small components in these things, and maybe sometimes it might take you an hour to do one little piece, but that doesn't matter. It'll be worth it after a while. It will, when you finish it, you think, oh dear, look at me, look what I've done, isn't that good? Yeah. We get still in the shot there, and then we're going to come right round here, and I'm going to end this off because it's starting to get too short, and I want to start out now with a fresh piece. So I'm going to go through to the back there, and then I'm going to bring it up here, way down here. I want to go down here, so I've got this long piece, right? I'm not cutting that, I'm going to cut it off there, but I'm going to keep it long down that way, okay? So there's one piece that we've started. This is not completed yet. This is nowhere near completed, because now we fill it in, okay? I wonder which needle I had. Here it is, I think. So one strand of thread, that's all we do. Maybe I've seen a lot of people use more than one strand, but I'm not going to do that. So now we want to fill it in, so we're going to go like this and just do in and out. Just do straight stitches. Well, actually I'm doing back stitch too, aren't I? Not really. See, we're making it so it's going to look like it's a petal. So he's got to be filled in, okay? Come up here. And I'll come back this way. We're just doing some stitches close together. Some I might be doing a bit of a stem stitch here. It's not a long and short stitch like some people do, a long and short stitch, but I think I might be doing a bit of a stem stitch myself. And I'm just going to go back up in here and I'm going to make them shorter and longer so they'll look nice. Now if you were doing this on a, you need to fill it all in, and you see it better too if you're at a white background, but I think you can see too that this is all right. You know, you can see that you're covering it over okay. Now you want to go in that direction sort of thing, you know, so it's going all going down to there, okay. I might even come over here a little bit for a minute, show you what I mean. It all has to come to the piece at the bottom. Oh gee, it's getting warm in here. I haven't got the air conditioner in there anymore because I had to take it out. And that was not good. I'll have to get another one put in. It was very old and it didn't have a switch on it. And it was probably a bit dangerous. I don't know. It was very old actually. It was gifted to me by somebody. Oh, somebody was my sister years ago. She had it for years, and just sometimes these things are probably best if they get retired. So what I've done there, you can see we're going to that point, righto? But gradually, just gradually going there. We're not going to do it too quick. We're not going to make it too obvious. If you understand, we just need to make it go down that direction. I'm here. Nobody panic, I'm still here. I'm in the zone here somewhere. It's relaxing. It really is. It's all slow stitching. It's a shame all younger people don't do this sort of thing, you know. Because if it's not done on the phone, though, they're not really interested, are they? My girls never learnt. Probably told you before, one can crochet and one can knit. And that's it. As far as I know, there's not ever been any sort of sewing going on. Oh yeah, I got them to make a pair of pants for a doll once because I told neither of them they wouldn't know. I said, you neither of you know what to do. They told me they did, so off they went. made a pair of trousers for the doll. Well, it was okay. They were okay. The trousers for the doll were okay. So if they need to make themselves a pair of trousers, they might have to make them bigger, but that's what they did. That was years ago. Because they told me they knew how to sew, they didn't need me to show them. You know, children like, I was one myself, and I know what I was like. I wasn't going to tell my mother wasn't going to tell me what to do. Well, you know, I could not. I watched what she did. I watched her when she sewed, when she was sewing with the machine and that. But I never did when I was doing embroidery for years, and then she was doing it too, but I taught her a few bits, so that wasn't bad, I suppose. She was prepared to learn from me. I suppose I must have learned a couple of things from her, but I taught myself most of what I know by just doing it many times. Persistent. You know how I get and I have to undo it? Well, I did undo things, I must say. I did undo a lot of stuff over the years, but it's how you do it, you know. You can't just... Well, it is when you're learning, because in any case, it doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it for, it doesn't mean you're going to get it right every time. You don't want a great, nice big piece of work, or a nice piece of work ruined by one little mistake, because that's what happens, you know. When you went up to the show, you know, that's our show we go to, like a fair, I suppose you'd call it in America and that. I don't know about England, I don't know what. And anyway, you'd see a piece of cross stitch, great big piece it would be, and a big frame, look beautiful. And you think, now why didn't that win? And you know why? Because somebody did one stitch out of place. Because you can really... I could not tell years ago about that, but now I can. I mean, you learn, don't you? You know, you learn. And I like to look at cross stitch, but I'm not a big fan of it, never really have been. But I know now how it works and how they pick what they do. Because you think, you know, that should have won, but the one that won was probably the one that did have all the stitches in the right place and going the right way. Did have all his stitches going the right way. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I want to take it in a bit, but I don't want to get out of the shot. If I leave my arms resting on the counter, on the table, as long as I don't cut off my circulation like I did the other day. I really, really love this, how this is looking. I really do. It is looking awesome, I reckon. Don't you think? I think that looks really good. Now we look up really close and we can still see that there's bits there that we've still got to do. So we come over here. But if you sort of aim to get it all coming down to there, with, like I said, without it being too obvious, and I'm using my cotton and my fabric to the right colours is what you need. I think, you know, over the years I have struggled with different things when you've put a different colour completely to what you're putting on the top. And honestly, you know, it might say to do that even if anything you're working on, but it's better off if you haven't done it like that. It really is. Now I know people talk about the Yellowstone in the story. Is it called Yellowstone? Yeah. About the Duttons. Well, they've got another story, 2 more stories out, way back. One of them's called 1926. One was called 18 something, wasn't it? 18, I don't know. But anyway, we've been watching the 1926 one, and I'm excited to see another episode of that today. I must say it's very, well, if you see it, you'll know. It is good. I've never seen anything with that sort of, I can't really say. Anyway, you watch it if you want to. It's really good. It's on Netflix, I think. Netflix or Stan. Anyway, it's on one of them, and we're only getting one episode a week, which is, you can't wait, to see the next one, because see what's going to happen. It's just, 1 minute you think, Jeremy said the other day, he said, oh, gee, this is not going any good. The first part of it was very slow, and then all of a sudden it started taking on action. That changed his mind. So you got to be prepared to be a tiny bit patient with it. So there you go. Now I think I've done that. I think I've done that really nicely. See? Where are you? Oh, look, I can see that I haven't. Is that there got any stitches on it? Might be just the way that it's a shadow on it. So, because I've done them, I've stitched in here, but I'll just give it another couple anyway. I'll leave it like that if I don't think it's right. But it is. It's the way the shadows come across on it. Anyway, so that's that bit of it. Okay, so now we're going to end this off in the back. And we've got a whole heap of little bits and pieces in. That's okay. Nobody panic. Now, I thought I brought in my little scissors, and I did. I'll give these a bit of a wear out. Now, we need to do 4. But Sonya's going to show you what to do with 1 for a start. Right? So, we've got these bits here. Oh, there's a bit there. I hope I didn't cut that other piece off, did I? Did I cut it off? Oh, Sonya, you didn't. I must have done. Anyway, or I've sewn it up in there. Never mind. So what you need to do now is to cut this out. But you're going to cut it out around here. Oops. Like that. Okay? You wouldn't do this until you've finished all of them, but we'll do this now. Alright? We're going out around here. Because if I keep this in the hoop, I should be able to, make sure you don't cut any cotton, I should be able to even do another one there and another one there and another one there, okay? So what you do now is you get your thread and needle again. And I'm hoping that we've got enough time to just show you this bit, and then we're going to have to come back next time and continue on. I don't think this is the same needle I was using, but it will do. It's threading up fine. No, it's not. It's all going everywhere. This piece of, it's really weird, I use that pearl cotton all the time. This seems so soft and thin and delicate compared with it. It's only early, so it's not. Come here. I'm fighting the breeze. Poor Jeremy's fighting the breeze in the hot outside with the garden. He's the what's name's the wind and now we did have all that flooding around, but there was no water left. It's all gone. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go and you're going to actually, what I should do is put a bit of fray stop around the edge of that first, I think. I don't know how long this takes to work, but I want to use it. You can use glue. Okay, you don't have to have this. And if this is going to take too long, I might just use a bit of glue. Let me see. What's it say? Let it dry for 24 hours. We don't have time for that, do we? We'll put this back in there. And we'll do a bit of glue. We'll put a bit of glue on it. Because that won't hurt. Because as long as we're not going to stitch it, it's okay. We're not going to be stitching where the glue is. Because I want to put this around the edge of here, because this material particularly is very, very frayed. It's just shocking, it is. Really bad. So I'm going to put glue around the outside of this. Because I don't want it to come undone. I'm really quite enjoying this. This is going to be fun, ladies. It really is. I'm afraid I can't show you some great big piece of work already finished like some people do, because well, I've done lots of them and showed you. I think you got an idea that we'll be doing okay though, won't we? Because I'm not going to set you too hard a task, because we just want to be learning, and we can do with what we want as we go. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this bit untucked there. Might have probably left a little bit more on that edge, because look how I'm starting to fray it, see? I need to show you what I'm going to do now though, so something better happen fast and better dry really quick. Come on. Usually does this stuff. Be too impatient, Sonya. Right, now get your needle and thread. Even before this is dry, we're going to do this. We can start at this end. Right. We need to leave ourselves a tail. Come here. Oh no, you don't need a tail. And just sew around in here. Okay. You move over. I have showed you how to do one of these before, but not like this. Okay? And when I do the leaf thing that's on it, I will show you the other way of doing it, but I think I like this the best way, because you're going to pull that in now. Pull it up. Try not to bend your wire, right? Just pull it in, and it sort of gives it a little bit of a padding up, doesn't it? Look at that. Makes it a little bit padded. You probably could put some padding in it if you wanted to. I haven't got hold of something here. You could probably put some padding in it if you wanted to. You can do yours whatever colour you like, because it's a flower. You can do whatever shape you like. Now I'm going to go across here and just sew this down a bit, so it's not sitting up too far, right? And whatever you do, don't lose your little piece, will ya? So well, you need a piece of something for this to go on to. That bit there, I haven't caught hold of it yet. We'll have to go around here and get him. Get around here and get that piece. And pull it over a bit. There we go. Now while we're away for the next few days, like next week, until I get back, you'll need to go off somewhere and find yourself a good big needle, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Well, see, I can put that piece there in the back of this. That will work. Just tuck it under there so it's not in the way. And there you've got your petal, your first petal. And when you've got that on the piece of work, see, if you've got this all down nice and flat, that's going to look really good. Well, not too flat, because I think you need a little bit. Okay, keep twisting it around there. That's not fun. Oh dear. Right, now. I think I might have got enough There, what do you reckon? I've done it stitched enough. So you could have put a little bit of wadding in there, you know, a bit of filling if you like, if that's what you wanted to look for. I've got a piece of material here now that I might be putting them onto, but what you need now is a piece of a needle like this, with a big hole, sharp point, farther one, and when I do this, I'm going to push this in through there and put my wire. You get right down to there, right? And then you get your wire, and it would be good if you got them both the same length, because it's a lot easier than I should have done, but I must have moved it. And you push that in there, and then you just pull it through, take your needle off, and you've got it on there, okay? And now you've got your first three-dimensional petal on your piece of work, okay? That might not stay there because it might be too close to the edge, but I just wanted to show you. This piece of fabric that you use here would be good if it was pretty open weave, because it'll be easier for it to go through. It's up to you though what you want to do with it, whether you want to make this. In this part that I've decided I'm going to do the flowers, the petal, the leaves, the stems, the little bally things that I make. All different sorts of things, so you can, a butterfly will be made with sheer fabric or what's that, organza ribbon for your butterfly, but that's what we'll make a nice, and maybe a mushroom. So there's lots to do, and so if you want to work on that now, till next week, we can come back and we'll have 4 of them, and we'll put them on the piece, which I will have to work out my design, because I never had time to do that. From the time I thought I'd do this, I thought I'd better go and do it, because otherwise if I fiddle around I won't get it done. And so therefore that's him to start with. And I do like the way that the gold just shows up a bit on that. Okay, doesn't matter, I think it looks good myself. Alright, now so I'll talk to you later, so thank you everybody for watching, and I'll come back next week and show you what to do next. Alright, thank you, bye bye, take care.